Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
Yes. We are back inside the three-point conversion sports lounge. And I'm your man, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? I'm glad to be back, everyone. Man, I missed you all. And I really meant that when I asked, did you miss me? Because I missed you all. And of course, I'm not doing this by myself. I have my engineer, the one and only, the most coveted, with the silky voice, G. What up, G?
Yo.
Gave you a sample right there. Then I'm back with my road dog, partner in crime, co-host D Intellectual. What up, D?
Yes. What up, though, man? Glad to have you back, bro.
Hey, man. I'm good. I'm refreshed.
That's good, man. Sometimes you need that, you know what I mean?
Bruh, tired. You know how the grind is, but I'm back. It was an interesting Thursday night on a lot of levels.
Very interesting.
Which I know you have a lot on your mind to talk about. I definitely do. But yeah, man, I'm just glad to be back. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, man, good. It's a nice day outside. Yesterday was ridiculous, yo. It was steaming outside.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was supposed to be a little rainy today.
Right.
You know, the Freaknik concert today. Freaknik
I
stuff
know.
all weekend. They say it's not going to be like the old one, but still don't bring your kids.
Yeah, don't bring your children. You know, let them listen to this show. But, yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. As I mentioned, the NBA draft happened on Thursday night, and a lot of interesting picks. A lot of interesting things that happened with just the coverage and how the four-letter network, ESPN, went about it, which I got a bone to pick with them. But still, it was a good day. It was good just to see the children, the kids, you know, go ahead and get picked, you know. So it was good to see that. Also, we have to talk about these Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks made a splash during the draft. We'll get into that. Atlanta has to be excited, the city. Also, we're going to talk about the Big 3. The Big 3 opens up this weekend, actually, on Sunday, and in Detroit. So this is the third year for the Big 3. A lot of people didn't think it was going to make it.
It's doing this thing.
Yeah, shout out to Cube and them. So we're going to talk about what we expect from them this year and then just moving forward as a league. Also, we're going to talk MLB baseball. The Atlanta Braves, they lost last night, but we saw Dallas Keuchel come in and pitch. But the Braves are on fire.
Yeah.
The Braves are on fire.
Definitely.
They're in a good place right now. And then with the rest of the Major League Baseball, the Yankees, man, they kept afloat. Actually took over.
Until them sluggers came back.
And now them sluggers are back. And it's just, wow. Then we also have, is this really happening? And, you know, we like to talk about the crazy things that happen in sports. So you will love to get into that. We have fun with that. And, man, you all call in at 404-603-8770. You know, you hear a lot of people comment after the show, oh, man, this was great, or I think this. Call in. We'll take the call. That's all right. Give your 3 cents. And last but not least, we have Dr. Donnie Fowler, the third from Ortho Atlanta, the orthopedic. He's going to come in and give his injury reports on certain players that participate in the NBA draft that's, you know, will be expected to do big things next year and Major League Baseball. So, like I said, it's going to be a great show. You can let your family know they can listen locally on 1100 AM. The Real, WWWE in Atlanta, Georgia, also on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Radio Now, 1100 WWWE, and also we're on Facebook Live, the 3-Point Conversion Facebook page. Hello. All right, so it is time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it.
I need like 3 seconds, man.
Can we get a stop it? Are you controlling the stop it too?
Yep, so you're not getting that. All right, here we go.
Shout out to Sharon Beats for the sick beats.
Sharon Beats.
All right, first off, Tom Brady. That's why I say he's the man. This man is what, 48 years old? How old is he? 41?
72.
172.
And he led all NFL players in money earned in royalties last season with $2.35 million. Players earn money in royalties through endorsements licensed by the NFLPA, which include jerseys, video games, trading cards, and Dak Prescott ranked second at $2 million. Antonio Brown came third at $1.35.
I'll tell you about them Dallas Cowboy fans, man.
Yeah, that's Dallas. And it's funny because you would think with Dallas and Pittsburgh, they have the biggest fan base.
Yeah.
I think Chicago come next.
They
whatever.
crazy though,
right? But Tom Brady to lead all of them.
Right.
This dude, 42 years old, or 41, or however old he is. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Exactly.
What? So, do you think somebody would take over this year?
Nah, I don't think much is going to change until he retires.
Wow.
You know, maybe, I mean, Dak was pretty close, right? 2.1 to 2 even.
Right.
What, maybe Dak?
Maybe. I think
there might be a surge with Antonio Brown since he's on a new team.
Oh yeah, Oakland is kind of, their fan base is crazy too.
The article I read about that was like Peyton Manning was kind of the leader for a while, and then when he went to Denver, he kind of stayed there.
Okay.
And then when he retired, then Brady kind of took over. But Brady's kind of been up there, at least number 2. And the thing that's interesting is that he's played for the same team the whole time.
Yeah.
So
everybody just buying his jersey.
like, what else is there to get?
So it lets you know that it's still basically it's still a quarterback's league.
You better believe it.
You know, so
Better believe it.
move it.
Protect it so well.
Right. Moving on. Speaking of quarterbacks, the New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees was awarded $6.1 million in a lawsuit against jeweler Vahid Moraj, who Brees said defrauded him on diamond purchases from 2012 to 2016. Brees bought $15 million in diamonds, good Lord, from Moraj, but an appraiser later told Brees in 2017 that he got jacked. Well, that ain't what it said, but that he was greatly overpaid for the diamonds.
Man.
So they said that they overestimated their value by around $7 million. That's what said. Wow.
Man, that make you put hands on somebody.
Bruh.
Like, seriously. That should be like, he should be able to get in trouble with that, like lawfully. You know what I mean? Like something towards his company or, you know what I mean? Something, man. So imagine how many other people he did it to.
Right.
Hey, everybody need to go check their Jones now because, man.
Who can you see if this happened to them, an NFL player, that would probably put some hands on somebody?
I got a former one.
Who?
Clinton Portis.
Yeah.
Remember he said he was going he was about to kill somebody. Who was it? He said he was going
yeah.
He said somebody was going to kill his agent or somebody that got him for some cash. He was like, he was about to
kill him. You got what, G?
Another former player. It would probably be someone like. I feel like someone like any of these like short running backs or receivers. Like it was like Steve Smith or something.
Oh yeah. Steve Smith would have.
LT probably would be locked up.
Oh yeah, LT be locked up.
LT be locked up now.
Steve Smith would be suspended for 10 games.
I never forget how him and Michael Irvin got out on each other.
Yeah, man. Moving on. Oakland Athletics starter Frankie Montas has been suspended for 80 games after testing positive for the banned performance-enhancing substance Ostarine. Everybody's been taking this like the fourth person that got caught for this. But Montas was 9-2, or is 9-2 this season with a 2.70 ERA. He will be able to return to the team in September, but will be ineligible for the playoffs. Wow.
So you get a ban from the playoffs too, or you got to play a certain amount of games? Oh, you got to be back before September to get on the playoff team, right? To be on the playoff roster, you got to be there in like August or something, right?
Cutoff.
Yeah. I mean, he get what he deserved.
Right.
I mean, like what they catching everybody now. So what you think you're gonna be the dude that slipped through the cracks?
For real.
Or what it is people that slipping through the cracks, and he just hope he continues to slip through the cracks. Oh man, you get what you deserve. You get caught again, he's banned for life, right?
No, it'll be 100 games.
100. Then it was the third time it's life or something? Is it a life yet?
I think the third time is like a year.
Yeah, I think you thinking about NFL. NFL, if you look at somebody wrong, you get 10 games. Moving on, Jeremiah Holloman, who was expected to be the number one wide receiver for UGA this upcoming season, was dismissed from the program after he admitted to the university police that he punched his then girlfriend during an incident more than a year ago. The incident took place last April, hours after the team's spring game. The woman did not report the incident until June 2nd of this year.
I mean, he got what he deserved, right? And the reason I say that is, of course, he did it, and then he admitted to it.
Right.
And like she waited June 2nd, so they must have broke up. So now he go, you supposed to take that one to the grave.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Wasn't no report, wasn't no, you know what I mean? And you know, you hate to say something like that, but
maybe I don't know, maybe he was eating at him, you know. And it's kind of cool that he stepped up. Yeah, he fessed up to it, and
I mean, he'll be at some.
He'll get picked up somewhere else.
Yeah, probably not going to be as big.
Right.
A college,
probably a D2 or maybe a D1. You know, but the fact that he fessed up to it is like, and he probably knew the consequences. Like, let me go ahead and say this. Probably eating at his conscience. So
that Lane Kiffin has already called him.
Lane Kiffin.
I'm sure he did. Back to the steroids. It's 80, 162, then lifetime.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they skipped 100.
Yeah.
Man. Moving on. NFL owners voted 31-1 to allow pass interference to be reviewed via replay. Reviews can come by the way of coaches, challenges, and the replay in the last 2 minutes of a half and overtime. This change is only active for the 2019 season. So this is a trial.
Yeah, definitely.
So my thing is, why didn't they just do the trial for preseason? Like, because, you know, normally they would do things like that. We're going to try it out for preseason. If it works.
Because I think that the preseason they don't care like that. So would they be into it as much?
Right, but if I'm a coach, I know the owners voted, but I don't need y'all trying out stuff during the season.
Because we don't have time for that.
Yeah, and if it works.
I want to know the one dude that voted against it.
I looked for it. I
they didn't have it on there, but
I think with why it's not being used in the preseason, the stakes are much lower.
Right.
So
you'd be like, dude, I don't care. It's gone.
Right.
And that's probably good for the guys who are like trying to make the team.
Yeah, they need a few pass. They need a few pass interferences to go.
Right. For real. Moving on. The Sacramento Kings have hired Joe Dumars as a special advisor to GM Vlade Divac and assistant GM Peja Stojakovic. He hasn't worked for an NBA team since stepping down as a Detroit Pistons president of basketball operations in 2014. Kudos to Joe Dumars. That's what's up.
Definitely kudos. I think it's a good pickup, but I never forgave him for passing on Carmelo.
Right. Darko. That will
forever be.
I try to spin that. I would spin that positively. Like, you know, if Carmelo was on that team that went on to win a championship,
they wouldn't have got to the finals.
No, they probably still would have got to the finals. He wouldn't have played.
Oh yeah, because Tyshawn Prince was killing that year. One,
because of Tyshawn Prince, and Larry Brown doesn't play young
rookies.
Players.
Yeah, it's a fact. He probably would have paid 15
but
minutes. But
didn't Darko play?
When they were up by 30?
Yeah.
All right, that wraps up Quick Hits. We're going to take a quick break. Get ready. We're talking NBA draft. About to have some fun. Keep it locked.
Good morning. This is Greg Hurd with your sports news break. The Atlanta Braves lost 4-3 in the debut of Dallas Keuchel as he allowed 3 runs after jumping out to a 3-0 lead. Austin Riley added a 2-run homer for the Braves. The Atlanta Hawks are gloating after another stellar draft. They traded the number 8 and 17 picks to move up to number 4 to draft DeAndre Hunter. And then with the 10th pick, they draft Cam Reddish. And finally with the 35th pick, they scoop up Bruno Fernando. The Atlanta Dream came up short in a comeback attempt against the Connecticut Sun and lost 86-76. Brittany Sykes scored 18 points. The Atlanta United will get back to action this Wednesday as they travel to face Toronto FC. Make sure to follow the 3-Point Conversion for all of your major sports news and updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
Hey folks, Handsome Josh is here to reveal some big news to all the AM 1100 listeners.
I have an app.
That's right, you can now check out all your favorite programs right here on The Real with the Real 1100 app. Whether it's sports, entertainment, or lifestyle, the Real 1100 definitely has you covered.
So why don't you just tell me how much it's going to cost me?
And here's the best part. It's available in your Google Play or Apple App Store, and it's free to download.
Actually, you can count me in on this one.
So download the Real 1100 app today and stay in tune with The Real.
What's going on, guys? It's John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio. Radio.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I'm your host, Mr. Controversy, with my co-host, The Intellectual. And this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Cindy Cuts Barbershop, located on 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Shout out to them boys. They had a nice little event last night, which I ain't get the memo till later on, but I'll show you how important I am to the shop. But either or, I heard it was a great event. Shout out to them guys. Excellent barbershop, man. Like I always say, everyone can cut. No empty chairs. And hey, community, unity. You might see them playing chess. It's the mix between the old school and the new school. Shout out to Dwayne Chambers. Dwayne, I got your back, man. We got your back here, man. No matter what, man. We appreciate you for always supporting us, and not just you, but the shop as well. Thank you all for the support. And you can follow Dwayne Chambers on Instagram at Simha the Barber. That's SIMHATHEBARBER. Shout out to my man Corey. Some people call him Corey Guns. Shout out to Corey. We know you quiet, bro, but you doing your thing, bro. All right.
Speaking of events, you had a little event, didn't you? Wasn't it nice?
With who?
Your little event.
No.
Juneteenth.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Juneteenth. I'm like, what's Jordan talking about? Juneteenth, of course, man. Juneteenth was great. Shout out to all of us. Yeah, we did a little barbecue, and every year, I would not work on that day.
But that's what's up.
That's what's up. That's
crazy. I love Juneteenth, but I hate June 19th.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, I'm with you. All right, so NBA draft came up Thursday evening, and was it an anticipation? I guess it depends on who you were rocking with. We all pretty much knew what was going to happen with the top 3 picks. And they went in order, of course, Zion, Ja Morant, and then RJ Barrett. So then the fourth pick, it started to change. Atlanta traded down, of course, early before the draft, and traded up, I should say, and they were able to get DeAndre Hunter, which was I thought was a big pick. But to me, one of the biggest shockers was Cleveland going with Darius Garland. He didn't play the whole season because of a meniscus situation.
Mm-hmm.
Your thought on him? Because when you watch the highlights,
it's like he got game.
Yeah.
He got game. And meniscus, you get back from that. It's not an ACL. You remember Russ had that a couple of years ago. So you're able to get back. I just was worried of the pick for them because they just got Colin Sexton. You know what I mean? So what are you trying to have, like a Dame Lillard, C.J. McCollum type of backcourt? But in that instance, who going to defend the two guard? Because they both are about, 6'2"?
Right.
So that's
go ahead, G.
Well, yeah, that's what a lot of the analysts were saying as well, that they wanted to – Cleveland's looking for a C.J. Dame kind of combination. I haven't seen that Colin Sexton can actually shoot all that well.
Right.
I didn't see Darius Garland play at all. So they see something that we don't see, or at least I don't see. But I thought they would have gone with a forward or a bigger wing player as they try to rebuild their team. But we'll see what happens with that.
Culver would have been great for him.
Yeah, I think he would have fit right in.
But I think they were trying to, and Cleveland has a knack for doing this. They were trying to pick that make that genius pick.
Yeah,
and then you got to understand. I think also because Garland became real hot like the last few days, like all of a sudden,
real hot. Everybody
was talking about trying to get him,
and he worked out for the Knicks. The Knicks it looked like they were going to change their mind about RJ.
Right.
And I think he worked out for somebody else. I think he worked out for the Lakers or something, like somebody who had someone in the top 6. He worked out for someone else too.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what team stood out?
Man, the Hawks and the Pelicans. Like David Griffin is a monster, man. Like he just went ridiculous, and I mean. And that's what I was going to kind of go on with even with the Cavs pick. I'm sure if Dave Griffin was there, he would have made something happen. But and the Hawks, man, they got DeAndre Hunter after the trade, and I think that's going to be major for them. His defensive intensity is just his size overall and what he's able to do, and he's a winner, right? And then you able to get Cam Reddish. Like I was at the draft party, for the Hawks, and when Rue got picked, the entire stadium went nuts. I'm looking around like, man, what's going on? Somebody came in here or what happened?
Yeah, because you kind of knew, right?
Yeah, I had dude next to me was like, that means we getting Cam. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, when I tell you, like, that he got a better ovation than DeAndre Hunter did. Mm-hmm. Like, they must love Cam. And I like his game, and I definitely think he's going to do well. He's suited for the NBA. Of course, I don't think he's going to off the bat start, but he's going to be a good player for them.
So, what makes you say the Pelicans? Because we're going to get into Hawks next segment.
Of course, because they got Zion, but then they were able to trade the 4th pick and pick up so many other picks and still get a big man with Jackson Hayes.
Right.
And imagine Jackson Hayes running with Zion and Lonzo Ball.
You got Lonzo Ball, like just it fit.
Yeah.
But see, here's the question though, G. And you go Zion no matter what. But what happens? I want to know what do y'all think? What happens to Julius Randle? Does Randle stay there? Do you move him?
Well, he's a free agent.
Yeah, I think
so. I don't see him coming back,
especially with who they got, right? Because now his time is going to be. But I would love him like he was off the bench, like 18. He averaged 21 a game.
But because I say if they had him signed, I say that if Zion lost maybe 15, 20 pounds, I still think the way he plays, you can play him at the small forward. Just because, think about it. Look how LeBron was 299 pounds playing small forward balling. So I think that with Zion, if he just lost a little weight, which I think he will, because you know how it happens when you get that NBA body.
He did it even from senior year to freshman year of college. He
you could see
tightened it up, and he got you
right.
know what I mean?
So I think it will work if you put him at a small forward, because I don't think he's a power forward. Do you all think he's a power forward?
And that's what's crazy with him, right? You don't know what he is, right? Because he's so this trend. He's such a great player, right? Like he's something we've never seen. Like even with LeBron was what 260, 6'8", 255, something like that.
Right.
Well, I mean, he came in the league at like 240.
Right.
And Zion's what 285.
Yeah, he's the second heaviest person in the league, behind Boban, I think.
Oh yeah, that dude is huge. And then they got this guy for Virginia Tech, a shooting guard, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Pelican.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they wrecked.
So is there anybody well, I guess the shockers. Were you all shocked that Bobo didn't get?
I was very shocked. But I heard that his medical was not positive. But to drop that low, like
he was
like,
a top 5
even,
pick at
right,
one point.
Even with like just the teams that passed on him, like the Bulls got that guy that I was telling you about
Kobe
from
White.
in the second round they got Daniel Gafford, right? Like he's a DeAndre Jordan type, like just run up and down the court kind of. Like why not take the chance on Bobo?
Like so, you know, it was something that everybody was scared of, and I'm wondering, will it come back to pay?
Now, so for me, I'm rooting for him, right? Like now he's my like under the radar. I want this guy to succeed.
Right,
you know what I mean? Because he was invited to the green room,
right?
So he's sitting there, like everybody's gone, right? Like so he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like and when he got up, he still was real professional about it. I would have made one of them statements like, man, I'm coming for everybody. You know what I mean? You know how you had that player in the NFL or whatever, they had that chip on their shoulder. Man, I'm coming for everybody. And I would think he's cleared by now, but it's that foot. And when you're that tall, right? But he's 7'7" or something, right?
7'2".
7'2", and you break that foot, and it's the foot that he broke.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's so worried about it.
Well, tall guy, 7-footers and foot problems
always.
It's going to happen.
Just
Sam Bowie,
right?
You know,
it's just you think about that. And then Nasir Little, he dropped to 30.
Portland.
I'm sorry, 25th, and went to Portland. Yeah, which I think they went out on that. They need a small forward.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he was at the top of their draft board, and they need forwards.
Right.
So they actually ended up getting the guy that they wanted.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a great pick. I mean, he was expected to do more in North Carolina last year, but we know how some people do, right? Like when you go to college, it doesn't transition to like being the college player. Mm-hmm. But then you get to the league, you are perfect for the league.
Right.
And I think he may be one of them players. But
well, yeah, his role wasn't clearly defined, and he only played like 18, 20 minutes a game.
So let me say, this is what stood out to me. Two things. First, the fathers.
Oh yeah,
seeing the fathers.
I love that.
There represent like to me, like I know everybody, you know, like John Father. I just knew that joke was going.
Cat Daddy.
I know he was gonna say, "Shoot, I'm trying to get like you,
like you,
trying to get like you."
I thought he was gonna holler at Maria. Shout out to Maria. She did her thing. Yeah, she did a great job. Shout out to Maria. She did a great job. But yeah, she did a great job. But man. But I thought he was gonna say something to Maria. But it was good. And then to see the young kids, the emotion.
Yeah.
Like LeBron, when he got in, he knew and nothing against LeBron.
Yeah.
You don't expect anybody, but to see when you saw Zion break down like that, and that Joker,
and he knew, I like him because even during the interviews, he was like, "I'm not with the Pelicans yet. I don't know if I'm going to be the number one pick." Like he don't have that, like that arrogance. Right. You know what I mean? Like he's still being humble, and I love that. He said one reason him and Gentry clicked because I'm just an 18-year-old that want to hoop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like that's dope.
Yeah, and to see that, and like you said, and then everybody else. get emotional. Then they father. That was a good.
RJ Barrett.
See them cry and they father right there. You know what I'm saying? And you know that was emotional. I mean, that was great. But then also, and I guess we're doing it in a sense, but not like that. I didn't like how ESPN made it all about Zion. I didn't like that, and that's how they do. Even though Maria did a great job, but even with Maria when she was like, I would be remiss. She talking to Ja and talking to RJ. You know what? Describe Zion as a player for what, man? I wish I would have been that guy she asked, because I would have been like, honestly, I don't really care at this point. This is my night. I'm worried about me.
Definitely. Like,
I can tell you about what I can do.
And I know that's my boy or whatever, but look, won't you ask about me?
Yeah.
Man, like, it's this.
No, let that
this
go.
It's my night, yo.
Right.
It's my night. We coming in together. We competing. Ask me about Zion. I plan on playing against him next year and bringing my best game against him.
That was it. But for them to keep on, just keep on, man. Like I didn't like that part, and I thought that was horrible. But like I said, in the event as a whole, I thought it went well. And I thought, go ahead.
I got one more something that shocked me. Chuma Okeke getting drafted so high. 16th by the Magic after tearing his ACL in March. I did not think he was going that high.
Right.
I did not think. But his mom likes it. She said that she really has faith in them because they're not going to try to play him next year, and she know that he's in good hands.
Well, I mean, I guess I would love to ask Dr. Fowler, when you have these injuries like ACLs, we're starting to see everybody come back healthy, and in full recovery, and play well. Like,
I mean, even with the Achilles, I was talking last night about it. Rudy Gay came back 8 months. Like, Rudy Gay came back like the fastest I think I've ever seen an Achilles,
right?
And he still looks good.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay. Yeah, he looked decent.
I mean,
he wasn't what he was, but
he's been in the league 15 years, so it's not like, you know what I mean? I'm saying for his age and what he looked,
right.
You know
and
what
I
mean?
Yeah, he did decent. He was decent for San Antonio.
And he's still making, 15 a year, so he's still getting paid.
You're right. Well, all right. That's going to wrap up the hot topic. But like I said, overall, it was a great success for the NBA. And this next segment coming up, we have special guest Chris Kirshner coming in from The Athletic to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and what they did.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kent Bazemore from the Atlanta Hawks. You're now listening to 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. All right, and as we mentioned before, the Hawks were able to take Cam Reddish with the 10th pick. Now, because of the trade and involved another player as far as for DeAndre Hunter, the 4th pick, he is not officially Atlanta Hawk until July 6th, I believe. So we were gracious to be there at the draft party. Well, not draft party, but at the facilities with Travis Schling, GM, and we had G there representing the 3-point conversion, and we got to really talk to him and Cam Reddish, and this is what Cam Reddish had to say, a little bit of what he had to say.
Cam, how do you like the future of this team? Obviously, not a lot of wins the last couple of years, but the core here with Collins and Trae Young, and obviously another guy you're familiar with will be here officially in a week or two. What do you think about those, 4 players kind of building for the future here?
Yeah, it's a young, talented group, and I'm ready to come in and be the best addition to the team I can possibly be. And, I feel like, once you get to learn each other and, things like that and build that chemistry, we'll be one of the best teams in years to come.
So, he tried to be cool, but I think he's excited as well. And we're definitely excited because we have, from The Athletic, Mr. Chris Kirshner. What's going on, Chris?
How's it going?
I'm good, man. First of all, man, how was it in New York, in Brooklyn? How was the atmosphere when, especially, speaking of the Hawks, when DeAndre Hunter was picked up and then you see Cam get picked?
Yeah, obviously there's not going to be many Hawks fans in Brooklyn. It was definitely a pro Knicks and Nets crowd, but, outside of the R.J. Barrett pick and the Nets pick in the second round, Georgia center Nick Claxton, it was a fine crowd, but, it's not going to be many cheers for guys who aren't picked by the Knicks and Nets. But it was definitely a really cool environment to see that, though, because, you can see just how passionate these fans are. And, looking at the videos that came out of State Farm Arena after Cam Reddish was picked, I think Hawks fans are definitely happy with Travis Schlenk's job that he did on Thursday night.
Right, and I want to ask you, because I think we all agree here that Hawks couldn't have had a better draft. Do you feel that way? And can you expound on as far as how it was able to happen and the excitement, I guess, that the city of Atlanta should have?
Yeah, I think the Hawks definitely nailed this draft. They move up to number 4 spot and get DeAndre Hunter, who's probably one of the 2 best defenders in this draft alongside Zion Williamson. They definitely gave up a lot to get DeAndre Hunter, so he's definitely going to have to produce for that trade to, have some value, because they gave up number 8, number 17, number 35, and Cleveland's top 10 protected pick next season. They also absorbed Solomon Hill's contract, so it's a lot to get for DeAndre Hunter. So they must have no doubt that Hunter is going to step in immediately and provide an impact. I would assume that, after the Taurean Prince trade to Brooklyn, that DeAndre Hunter is going to be the Hawks' starting small forward game one. He should be. He's probably the most pro-ready prospect in this draft alongside Zion. I think the Hawks definitely nailed that selection. And Cam Reddish has been a guy who's been on their radar for quite some time now. I remember the first time I heard the Hawks' interest in Cam was back in January. And that was, he was the first prospect I heard the Hawks have interest in, again, alongside Zion. So, I think the Hawks, got their guys. And then in the second round, they have tremendous value at number 34 and getting Maryland's Bruno Fernando. So, it's hard to criticize them. If you want to criticize them, it's probably, because of the amount of picks they gave up to get DeAndre Hunter. So that's really the only sort of criticism I could probably see out of the Hawks draft.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Probably the biggest question mark would be that Cleveland pick next year. That one. Yeah. Is it possible for both Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter to play together?
Yeah, they definitely can play together. My projection, especially at the start of the season, like I said, I think Hunter's going to step in immediately and fill Taurean Prince's role in the starting rotation. Probably Cam Reddish will come off the bench, but there's obviously going to be some lineups where both of them can play together. I think Reddish can definitely play the 2 in Kevin Huerter's spot when he's on the bench. But as of now, I wouldn't expect Cam to be a starter just yet. I definitely think he has some work to do. And, what we saw from Duke this past season, again, it wasn't anything super impressive, mainly because of the role that he was in, overshadowed by Zion and R.J. Barrett. So, I do think that the Hawks system is perfect for him. because he's going to have a point guard like Trae Young who can get him the ball. He won't have any pressure to produce big numbers right away. So, I do think that certain lineups you can have, Trae at point guard, Cam Reddish at shooting guard, DeAndre Hunter, small forward, John Collins at power forward, and then whoever, emerges as the starting center. Right now, it's probably Alex Len, depending on if the Hawks do re-sign Dwayne Dedmon. Their selection of Bruno Fernando might hurt Dedmon's chances of coming back, but I know they are interested in possibly a short-term deal, but they only have a maximum $14 million in cap space, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do in free agency now.
Before I go to the next question, what about this? This is what I'm saying. You know how most NBA teams have that power lineup, fourth quarter. I can even see, especially in today's NBA, I can see a Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, Cam at the 3, Hunter at the 4, and Collins at the 5. Yeah. Just, because especially the last 8 minutes of the game, 7 minutes, teams are going small anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see that lineup. The only thing that I would say and why I would be a little nervous, Collins at the 5 is kind of a liability at that point because he's not a great defender. And you want your center to be a very, very good defender, especially in crunch time. Collins definitely at the end of the season, about 20 games or so left, 15 games left, he definitely showed, where was this defense from Collins before?
Right.
So if he continues that, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I would just be cautious, just because Collins hasn't shown for a full season yet that he can be a very good defender. He showed it in the last few games of the season this past year. I talked to Lloyd Pierce about this last week, and he mentioned, if I saw that he, was a good defender at the end of the season, now Lloyd Pierce is expecting him to continue that at the beginning of the season in game 1. He's expecting that level of defense from John immediately. But if John can't provide that defense, it's definitely a liability to have him at the 5. Having Hunter alongside him definitely could help because he's already a very good defender and probably the Hawks' best defender, from day one. So that's how good of a defender DeAndre Hunter is. But if they do go with Collins at the 5, I would just be a little cautious of that immediately.
Right. And once again, we're here live with the Athletic Atlanta, Mr. Chris Kirshner, and covers the Hawks. And Chris, my next question is Bruno Fernando. A lot of people don't know who he is. A lot of people might not have followed his career. But what are we getting in him?
Yeah, I think you're getting, a guy who's going to provide a lot of energy. Definitely, probably the loudest person who came into pre-draft workouts. He's definitely a guy who's super, super energetic. He's definitely a guy who can provide defense. Again, that's something that the Hawks definitely need. He's still working on his three-point shot. I know, at the exit interviews, Coach Pierce talked about how he wanted his centers to be able to shoot threes. This past season at Maryland, Fernando only attempted 0.3 threes per game, so he's not a three-point shooter yet. He definitely has the range to become one, much like John Collins did. So the goal for him, especially in year 1 and year 2, is to develop a three-point shot like John Collins. John Collins showed this past season that, his range is, he can shoot threes and he can shoot them from the top of the key. He shot 36% this past season, which is a very, very good number for someone his size. And, the goal for Fernando right away is probably not going to be that. The goal is probably just to see, can you extend your range and can you space the floor for us? But what he does provide immediately is someone who, he can hit a mid-range jumper. I know Lloyd Pierce doesn't really like that, but, he's going to be someone who can bang down low and, get some defense immediately.
Why does he like that?
Yeah, the mid-range game, he just feels like if you're, shooting from that distance, it's not really a good shot. I mean, if you're open, sure, take it. I mean, Trey, can shoot a mid-range jumper, Kevin Herter, and so on and so forth. But, he prefers, the majority of the team's shot attempts to come at the rim or from three. And, if you shoot from three and you put up, 20, 22 a game, you're in good shape. So that's just the shot profile that Pierce thinks is most efficient for the Hawks.
I like how Kawhi brought that back, though, throughout his playoff run. He brought back the mid-range game. Mm-hmm. Has Travis proved that he might be one of the best GMs in the league?
I would say he's one of the better GMs in the draft. I mean, we don't know what he can do in free agency just yet, just because the Hawks aren't at that point in their rebuilding process yet. But at this point, I think it's hard for anyone to really criticize the draft evaluations that he's had. I mean, he's nailed 3 drafts in a row now. So he's 3 for 3. So, when it comes to, being the general manager of the team in the draft, I think he's definitely one of the better evaluators. But to say he's one of the best GMs in the league, I think it's a little premature, because you just look at what Masai Ujiri did for the Raptors and, taking a risk in trading for Kawhi Leonard and trading away DeMar DeRozan, who was the face of the Raptors for quite some time. Bob Myers, the job he's done in Golden State. I mean, you have other GMs across the league who have been more established, but I think that I think it's definitely something to say for Travis if you want to say he's one of the best young general managers in the league. I think that's definitely a fair thing to say.
All right, there you have it. My man Chris Kirschner from the Athletic Atlanta. Man, we definitely appreciate you coming on. And Chris, we definitely want you to come back, man. Don't be a stranger.
For sure, anytime.
All right, there you have it. Once again, Chris Kirschner from the Athletic Atlanta, and you can follow him on Twitter and social media, all social media at Chris Kirschner. That's ChrisKirschner. All right, there you have it, man. Atlanta has to be excited. They have to. Are we going to take a quick break? We will be back to talk about the Big 3. Is it here to stay?
Yes.
Third year. Keep it locked.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
What's up, man? It's Meta World Peace. Shout out to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Man, who would have thought the Big 3 would still be here? Like, let's be honest. Did you think that they were coming back when they came during year one? Did you think they were coming back?
No, even though it was good to watch, it was kind of like, nobody was really talking about it as much, right? And it just wasn't as big, right? But not only are they coming back, they've added teams. They got a CBS deal. Like, dude, it's going to be on, like, it's growing, man.
Yeah, I would have never – I thought it had potential the first year because, remember, the games were taped.
Right.
It wasn't live.
Right.
They were taped. So – and I think a lot of people was always washed up because then you had, like I always bring up, Moochie Norris weighed about 290 pounds, like almost literally trying to play. And, like, dude, what you – then Jason Williams got the first game. He tore his ACL. It was looking like –
And I think it was who they were taking, because I don't want to say wasn't a lot of people trying to be a part of it, but at first, because it was their startup, they were like, yeah, let's just, you know what I'm saying, let's get some players. Now it's like everybody that's gone wants to be a part of it. Like everybody.
Right.
I was going to try out this year, but I think I'm going to wait till next year to go ahead and get on back out there.
All right, so is it safe to say that now it's a legitimate league? Like, we have to look at this as a legitimate league.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, they got CBS backing them now. You know what I mean? The games are live. They go a lot of places. It's starting off today. I'm about to go home and watch it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm about to do. So yeah, I think it's legitimate, and I think it's a good league. Look at the star power that they're getting. Right? Like, they got Gil Zero this year. You know what I mean? Like the Hibachi. And you know how he is, not just the type of person he is, but with his social media platform. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's really out there. So that's going to bring them even more people in and more publicity. So it's great, man. Shout out to Cube for sticking in what he wanted to do and it being successful. I know he wish he could have got that deal. He tried to buy this regional sports station. I know he wish he could have got that.
I think it's going to happen. Gee, you experienced it last year. Looking at it last year and how it was, what were your thoughts? And did you see it actually going to another year?
I saw it going to another year. The part that I enjoy about it is that there are a lot of players that participate that had some kind of controversy while playing in the NBA. Like Gilbert Arenas will be playing. Big Baby is playing. Drew Gooden, Amari Stoudemire, Steven Jackson. Like they had some kind of, they were criticized for being who they were, for being themselves in the NBA. But now in this league, this is just about the competition. Yeah, you're like, the fans are there to see it, but just like the competition and the intensity of it is what I really enjoy about watching it.
And a league that allows you to be yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think was it last year when Ron Artest wouldn't get out of a game or something? I think it was Charles Oakley.
No, Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson. Yeah, he wouldn't get out of the game. He's like, no. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. That was and that was oak. Like, right. That's what I'm like.
It's an oak tree.
Yeah.
Like no.
And if you're looking at Facebook Live right now, this is from last year's championship game. And there was a scuffle during the championship. Yeah. They had to break up.
And I think that's another big thing for it, right? Like you can expect the unexpected, and it goes along with it. It doesn't take away from the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they got the 4-point shot, and you got a 50-year-old in Mahmoud out there with game. You know what I mean? Like doing his thing. You know what I mean? Like he's in better shape than a lot of 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He is. He is. And today it starts off, as D Intellectual stated, today tip-off is at 8 p.m. You have the Three-Headed Monsters facing Trilogy. And then at 9, you have Three's Companies going up against Power. And then at 10 p.m., you have Bivouac going up against the
Bivouac.
Oh, okay. Like, I never understood this.
It's a group of, like, I don't know if they're deadly ants, but they can destroy a lot of things.
Okay. See, that's why we have G.
It is.
I would have never known.
I found out by looking at their Instagram. They explained what a bivouac was.
Oh, bivouac. Okay, bivouac going up against the enemies. So that is tonight, and then tomorrow you have they're in Indianapolis, and the Aliens go against the Triplets. At 1 o'clock p.m., the Killer Threes go up against Tri-State. And then at 2 p.m., and then you have the Ghost Ballers going up against the Ball Hogs. So now, as you see, that is 10 teams. Yeah, so that's used to be 8. Now you have 10. So like I said, they're moving up. Now, with the players, we've already mentioned the type of players they have. Like you mentioned the characters, and remember before they didn't want. I remember specifically. I don't want to call them out. So a certain player talked about how when they first started, it was certain players that the league didn't want. Like, for instance, Steve Francis, they didn't want him the first year because of what had happened, in the news with the drugs and all of that good stuff. I think he was locked up at one point also. So, but they didn't want that, especially the first year, which is understandable.
Right.
It makes sense. But now, as you all mentioned, the characters, Nate Robinson, he's one of the guys. Who did he get into it with?
Rashad McCants.
Rashad McCants, he retired. He was a big character, But,
like you said, that's another one. He was always
always right.
But
Nate Robinson, getting to it with him and all of that. And I asked Cube last year, especially after that game, I said after the scuffle, you want the players to be the players, but at the same time, when you see something like that, do you encourage them to trash talk? He was like, I mean, it's basketball. That's what we grew up with. And he's like, true enough, you don't want them to get in a fight.
Right.
But it's basketball. We don't want to call it techs. Like, I think they gave their first tech last year. I think Ron Artest got a tech, which makes sense. But for the most part, though, they were – I mean, he wants them to go at it. He encourages them to talk trash. I think for that reason, that's why you see players coming to the league. Just because now you don't have to deal with like you said, you can be yourself.
Yeah.
And it's 3-on-3. You still want the blacktop ball, just more officiated, but it has that feel.
You don't have to worry about necessarily being politically correct. Now, they're not saying be politically incorrect, incorrect. You know what I'm saying? But it's you can do you. You know what I mean? And I like it, man. And it's going to be interesting tonight. And speaking of Rashad McCants, I don't think he wanted that smoke with Nate.
With Nate? No, he didn't want that. No, he didn't want that. Do y'all like the adding the extra teams?
Yeah, I do like that. Also, they got Shannon Brown coming now, Greg Oden. I like it because it's expanding.
Yeah,
the league is growing, and it will give when fans come, it will give them more games. That's why they split it up between 2 cities on a particular weekend. Basically, it's like going to a game. I like that they've expanded. I think they're probably going to add more teams, and just to make the experience for the fans, just to add more to the experience for the fans. But I like how it's growing, and people are going to look at it more just, this is just the old players league or whatever. But I think like for certain fans, like they like seeing these players play. And then to see in this setting that, the average basketball fan who plays is playing 3-on-3 half.
Right.
So
to see that that setting is enjoyable.
Yeah, because they'll be tired running up and down.
Right, yeah, they can't
it's
play.
12 teams, too, so they're actually up to 12.
And, Cube did say, he said that he eventually want the league to be picked. And that was one of the stipulations for the players also, that USA would now look at this league because they have the 3-on-3 in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his goal, was to have United States look at
to be picked
these players, so the winner can be represented at 3-on-3.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
Yeah,
I mean, I would say why not? Like, who else you gonna choose?
Right. Yeah, you're right. All right. So, like I said, show the man support. Ice Cube, man, gangster rapper.
It's a straight businessman.
Then a movie an actor. That he was one of the first rappers to cross over to acting, and did it well. Big movies, and then producer, then making children movies. Now this Joker has a lead.
The business.
That everybody said would make it. Man, inspiration. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We will be back with our Stop It moments. Don't leave.
What's happening? It's your man Big T doing big things. Y'all know what it is. ATL Hawks official DJ and Rap City forever. You're checking out the 3-Point Conversion Radio. You dig?
You're tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Big ups to our Sports Lounge crew for keeping the airwaves blazing each and every Saturday. But I want to send another special shout out to our team of writers at the 3-Point Conversion. You can visit us at the3pointconversion.com. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. How about the Gram? How about iHeart? How about Spreaker Radio? How about wherever you need it, baby? We got you covered. No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Just real quick, to continue to, if you want to follow, you're looking at the Big 3, you're going to be looking at the Big 3. We will be covering the Big 3 this year, and in Detroit, we will have exclusive coverage for you in Detroit, so make sure you stay tuned. And like I said, we'll be in multiple cities this year. All right. We also want to thank everyone who's supporting us, who's always been there for us and continues to be there for us. We appreciate you, and we actually just continue to support us. I mean, not just the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, but the 3-Point Conversion as a whole. And now it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. Yes. S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, D, it's on you, sir.
So if you've been living under a rock or not really paying attention to sports this week, LeVar Ball was recently banned from all ESPN's platform, and I want to give them a stop it. They said he was banned because he told, I think her name, Molly. She said, if I could switch gears with you, LeVar, and he said, you can switch gears with me anytime, and was literally doing the gear motion, and they took it as a sexual, response or anything. So, yeah, ESPN got to get a stop it for me for that.
Stop it.
Yeah, I didn't think. I don't think he didn't mean anything by that.
And you can look at the video. He's like doing it.
Just like,
and then when they was looking crazy, he was like.
Then the thing is, like, I know everybody want to pin Unc and make him a certain type of person, but Unc loves his wife and always talks about his wife on television. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's never been disrespectful like that before. Now, if he would have said stay in your lane, okay, but that's still not anything like that. But I think
they must have been tired of him and wanted him off the network itself.
Like they were bringing him on to try to bait him into doing it. Yeah. So,
stop it.
All right. And my stop it moment, I don't know if this is, I guess it goes to MLB. But either or, the Tampa Bay Rays, they got permission to explore the possibility of splitting their home games between Tampa and Montreal, Quebec. I'm going to say that again. They have a chance to. They're exploring splitting games in multiple cities during the season now. In the season between Tampa Bay and Florida and Montreal, Quebec.
Stop it. We're not talking about like they're going to be in Orlando or
or Miami.
Right. Even within the same state. They're not even in the same country. Like, why would you even do that? Like now your team, like, how tired is your team going to be? Like, it's an away game.
The way they're trying to, like, justify it is like, okay, we're going to play, like, the games in the spring and the early summer in Tampa, and then when as season goes on, we're going to play the rest of them in Montreal.
So we're going to play road games.
Right. I mean, have they came out with a reasoning or any?
Well, they've been trying to get a stadium for years, and they haven't been able to get one. The stadium that they play in is in St. Petersburg.
Right.
They've been trying to get one in Tampa, probably close to Raymond James Stadium.
Right.
It just hasn't happened, and they don't want like the Tampa to lose the team, but some guy with Tampa knows a guy in Montreal, and Montreal's they've been trying to get a team back.
The Expos left,
so they're like, well, why don't you just come play here? And then,
I can see in the spring, like for spring training.
Yeah,
let's see how it works. But
I heard the guy say that this is not to get the team out of Tampa Bay. You know what this is going to do? Get the team out of Tampa Bay.
They already got 18 people coming to games.
It'd be like 19.
And then you talking about. I don't know.
And then the flip side is watch how many people be at the Montreal game. It's probably going to be a lot of people at the Montreal game.
No, it's probably going to be 21.
I mean, the Expos used to have a nice following.
It's just that they weren't good.
Not at the end.
I mean, they were horrible.
Well, maybe because they were good.
They were horrible.
Because they had like 18 people there
They
too.
were horrible.
But they were horrible. Right. So, all right, we're going to see what happens. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, G.
All right, so this one has sound. I was trying to pull it up. So, here we go.
It out for him because I'm like, I don't think the fans really had it out for Kyrie. Maybe not until the end, but let's hear it. Let's go to Mikey in Waltham. Mikey.
Hey, so I was just calling in saying that with such a rare talent like Kyrie, it's such a shame that the fans didn't welcome him in more. Talents like those are so rare; they don't come by fast, and I think it serves us right that now he's gone and look at what we're left with.
Oh, my God. Wow. No, that's him. That's him. It's the inflection. That is him. It's not just the voice. It's the inflection and the way he talks. I didn't catch that at all when it happened live.
All right, so that is 98.5 in Boston. Call it into the Zolak and Bertrand show. A lot of people pretending to be Mike in Waltham, calling to defend himself. So they think it's Kyrie Irving. I wanted to get you guys to. Do you think it's Kyrie Irving?
I know it's Kyrie.
Think it is.
Yeah, that's Kyrie.
It's Kyrie.
It sounds like him.
I think that was so funny too. He's like, I think that the fans should have embraced him a little bit more with such a talent. That was funny, yo.
Because Kyrie Irving pretended to be Mike in Waltham to defend himself, he gets to stop it.
Stop it. He just could have came through as Kyrie.
That's funny.
No, because they would have had all these questions for him. And,
but Kyrie's a guy. He's that type of dude.
He's that type of dude, yeah.
He's funny like that. He's like real comical. So that's funny.
It was.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with Is This Really Happening? That could have been one right there. But we'll be back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan, just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The 3-Point Conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website, www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter. Happy Saturday, sports fans. It's your boy Sherm, a.k.a. the Lord of the Beats, and you are currently inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with my man's Mr. Controversy, D Intellectual, and of course my dog G behind the boards. Cheers to the freaking weekend.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And, you know, each week we have, maybe we'll send it out, let the fans vote. I don't know, let people listen, vote. We got to come up with this topic that we have, topic for this segment. Mm-hmm. You know, it's isn't really happening, but with this segment, we have multiple segments within this type of, you know, I guess, genre where it's not just about sports, but it's the crazy side of sports, whether we talking about crazy things or we're comparing movies or, you know, about sports, but we got to come up with a topic for this. I mean, a name for this segment, so, which we will. But either or, is this really happening? And we're going to have G take it away.
All right, so this really happening, which you'll find a couple of interesting stories and to talk and to discuss with you. And you guys can decide which one is the weirdest or give your opinions about either story. So this first one comes out of Washington State, and it is a yoga teacher in Seattle, to be exact, and she has she teaches a yoga class, and it is called Undoing Whiteness. Undoing Whiteness yoga class, and it's geared towards white people wishing to unpack the harmful ways white supremacy is embedded in their body, mind, and heart. Along with providing a contemplative space, the class will dissect the pathology of whiteness and obliviousness to the batch of privileges society grants white skin and how it operates in daily life.
Through yoga?
Through yoga.
So what?
Like I could get it minus the yoga part.
Yeah.
Right?
So what does the yoga part have? I mean,
well, if it's in your as they say, your body, mind, and heart,
right,
then it's really there.
Then it's affecting really your everyday life.
So you're trying to get it out.
Yeah, get it out
through yoga.
So are they listening to like a Brother Malcolm, or are they listening to? What are they listening to while they doing this?
Brother Malcolm,
Dr. Umar and Brother Polite.
Right.
To get over white supremacy, you have to.
Are they listening to Chuck D and
Public
Enemy? Wow. I would want to see what it's like.
That would be interesting.
To just go visit and see how they doing it.
No, but the question is how many white people actually came?
It's people are coming. I didn't get any numbers or anything, but people are actually coming to this yoga class.
That's interesting.
I just wonder. It's horrible, but you know how like back then they had, you know, And we like to have fun. No, this is just for fun. But you know how like you have certain. Well, the Muslim back in the day, what we saw, they always the hostile, upset at the world. I wonder what they say about this. Oh, sister, keep on teaching. You're doing a great job. Like what like that is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
It definitely is.
All right, what's the next one?
All right, so this one is in let's see, I believe it's in Korea. This is in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
So a man in his 40s stands accused of living as a blind person for 8 years and fraudulently receiving government money after a neighbor apparently saw him driving a car.
That's hilarious. First off, mind your business.
Right.
Mind your business. And if it happened in China, you know what them consequences, repercussions probably going to be.
This is Korea.
Oh, Korea. Okay. You know what them consequences, repercussions probably going to be. He going to be in trouble. I'm throwing hands. Mind your business, man. Yeah, I was driving, but I got this machine attached to the wheel to tell me. I was in a Tesla. I'd have
had the little stick, you know, they use in his face. Hey, bro, mind your business, dog.
Mind your business. That's like the dude on Instagram, Funny Marco, who be going around as blind Jeffrey. He in Walmart. He got this, and then he just started fighting.
No, the funniest video on I don't know if it's Instagram. I saw it on YouTube, whatever. But when dude was supposed to be blind and he was like homeless, and he was help a brother out and all that. He had his thing out for money, and some dude came to him acting like he was gonna kick him. And dude jumped. The homeless blind man jumped.
Yeah, he definitely ain't blind.
Bruh.
He definitely ain't
But yeah,
blind.
that's like, come on, man. That's.
So
I'm with
he's
you, dude. Mind your business, man. Like
he gonna be homeless now.
He was arrested and held on suspicion of violating the Act on Pensions for Persons with Disabilities. And they said he had been pretending to be blind for 8 years. He's actually been sentenced to 7 years in prison.
I told you what, that wasn't gonna be no joke.
Wow,
7 years. You know what he gonna do when he get out? Whoever told better make sure he don't live in that area no more.
Yeah, you got to move after that.
Mind your business. You just got me 7 years. Why you hating on me? You know what I mean? Like, let me go ahead and finesse this system right for that.
The article that I read, like it's a kind of a comedy kind of blog, but they said when I read how he got caught, I was filled with rage. This neighbor who called the authorities is the biggest bleep on the planet.
Yeah,
Bro, if you needed some loot, I
got you.
Man.
You could have asked me, cut you. You got to cut me in for 25%, or I'm gonna go on.
Right, I would have respected that. I'd have been mad, but I would have had to respect that.
I'd have knocked you off.
A quick question here, because they made a reference to this. If you found out that Stevie Wonder wasn't blind this whole time, would y'all be like?
I'll be a little mad. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be a little mad. But I wouldn't like, I don't know, I wouldn't trick on nobody, man. Mind your business, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. That's crazy. If he wasn't blind, no, he had to be because of his lining. And the way they braiding his hair and his lining, you know how
it just keeps going back farther and farther.
Yeah, and they just he has to be blind to.
But there's a story that he went to a Best Buy and bought two, like 50-inch flat screen TVs.
Let me tell you a story. No, I went to church with a blind man, and this was in the 90s, early 90s, like 94, 93, and my father went to go pick him up from the house, and he could get around everything, and my father was like, his name was Floyd. Floyd, why you have this 32-inch back then was a big deal. Back in the 93, that was a big deal. 32-inch TV, you was balling. But he's like, why you have this 32-inch color TV? I'm with the best. I gotta have the best. He's like, but you can't see, man. But I want the best. That's how most blind people are. Like from what I've known. So that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Then people got to come over also. Just because I'm blind, I ain't gonna make you watch as Martin say,
I don't know, fam. I might be
the B200. I ain't about to have you had that.
I don't know, bro. I ain't. If I can't watch it, I guess you can listen real good. I don't need no 57 inch for somebody to come over and enjoy it with my money. You come over here and watch this 32 inch tube TV.
All right, so I think the blind.
The blind dude. Yeah, man. I want to put hands on dude.
Yeah, I can't believe he tricked on him like that.
And he got 7 years. It ain't like that. And I told you his career. It's not like if it was USA, they would have made you pay restitution, probably get some probation, something like that, right? Korea, you going to jail. Lucky he wasn't in North Korea because he'd probably be dead.
Yep. Wow. All right. Appreciate that, G. We will take a quick break, and we will be right back after these messages. You remember that?
Radio.
Tune in.
Now. You can tune in to this radio station on any smartphone or tablet. iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Nokia, Samsung, Windows phones, or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store. Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy from over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at TuneIn.com or your app store.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hey folks, Handsome Josh is here to reveal some big news to all the AM 1100 listeners.
I have an app.
That's right, you can now check out all your favorite programs right here on The Real with the Real 1100 app. Whether it's sports, entertainment, or lifestyle, the Real 1100 definitely has you covered.
So why don't you just tell me how much it's going to cost me?
And here's the best part. It's available in your Google Play or Apple App Store, and it's free to download.
Actually, you can count me in on this one.
So download the Real 1100 app today and stay in tune with The Real.
Yeah, this is CJ Edwards with the Chicago Cubs, known as Carl Edwards Jr. I am now on the three-point conversion. Holla at your boy.
All right, we are back inside the three-point conversion sports lounge. And we have family here. Orthopedic from Ortho Atlanta. But like we say, this is family. This is our cousin, Dr. Donnie Fowler III. We call him D3. What up? What's going on?
I am the third. What's up, guys? How's it going?
I'm good, man. And if you're all watching, this is what I'm saying. This is what family does for each other. Doc, if you don't mind, I don't know if you can. Can you talk about the procedure you just done, like maybe a few minutes ago?
No. So I'm on call, so I had to go in. Nice 67-year-old lady broke her hip, so needed a partial hip replacement. So went in and gave her artificial partial hip, and here I am now.
Came in with the scrubs and the gloves on. G had to take the gloves off of him when he came in, just so he could come in.
Got to keep it sterile. So.
All right, so NBA draft, we've been talking about it, but this is probably I've never seen a draft with so many people coming off injuries that didn't play, that got picked in the first round. We mentioned a couple of them. Of course, I want to start off with Atlanta. I know we talked about it before, but now he's in Atlanta. Should there be any concern with him playing? I mean, or just with Atlanta, period, just with Cam's injury?
Yeah, so I was going to clarify. Cam Reddish.
Right.
So
Cam Reddish, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, just so people know who we're talking about. No, I think, he had a core muscle injury, so kind of abdominal region that he had a repair or surgery on. Honestly, it's not anything that should limit him going forward. We're not talking about any kind of lower extremity, knee, ankle, Achilles, anything like that. So this is something, once it's healed, there should be no residual, complications or deficits. He should be good to go.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, and wait, how excited are you though? Because you're in Atlanta. This is your guy.
Yeah. I mean, truth be told, I'm not a Hawks guy because I'm not an Atlanta native, but I like having, a Duke guy down here that I'll be able to go and watch. I'm sure everyone would have preferred it be Zion or RJ, but you'll have to deal with Cam and see what he can do. So
yeah, absolutely. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers took guard Darius Garland. Although he had missed most of the college season with a torn meniscus, how big of a risk do you think this could be?
Yeah, so the good news, his injury was very early in the season. He only played 5 or 6 games. It was, I think, November when he had his injury and his surgery. So no ligament damage, no ACL, nothing like that. I mean, meniscus is still, something important you need to let heal, but by now he's 7 months out from this injury. He should be perfectly fine. From what I've seen and what I've read, his workouts have been going great. So I don't think Cleveland should be concerned kind of making him the somewhat face of the franchise potentially going forward now. So,
yeah, I was shocked that he was the 5th pick. And like I mentioned, you remember back then, I know it was a surprise when from the Nets, I'm looking dead at him, when he got picked. It came from, it wasn't K-State. He came from.
You talking about a dude from Illinois?
No, he went to the Nets.
Kenyon Martin.
When Kenyon Martin, I'm saying, but when Kenyon Martin got picked up, remember he had broke his, or did he?
He had a broken leg.
Broken leg.
Yeah.
But still, everybody thought that was it for him. Like he wasn't going to be number one. He was clearly the best player in college that year, and still was picked number one. Mm-hmm. But it was a broken leg. But to see today, usually teams will stay away.
Bo.
But and I'm glad you said it, and that goes into that. With Bo, why didn't it affect, I guess because it was a meniscus, but still, you look at with Porter, when with Porter last year, he dropped, and now you see Bo. But Porter didn't drop as far, I think, what did he go, 13 or something like that?
13 or 14, but even still, the people, it was expected to be higher, and even when he got picked, people were still kind of like, wow, because,
right.
the back.
But Bo was supposed to be a top 5 pick at one time. Yes. And then he dropped to the second round.
So, yeah, I think a couple things went into that. Like you said, early in the season, he was a top 5 guy on some draft boards, and then he had a stress fracture in his foot. It's not obviously uncommon by now. We've talked about it many times with these big men to get these stress injuries to their feet. Going way back, you can think of people like Yao Ming. More recently, obviously you got Embiid with the Sixers, who took him out for a while. So there's some concern. The other thing, I don't know if you guys have read, but apparently he lost about 30 pounds after he broke his foot from when he last played to where he is now. So he dropped to about 200. 200
yeah,
no, dropped 30 pounds.
No, he said, did he drop 2 pounds?
No, he's 200 pounds. So he's 7'2", 203 pounds or something like that, which is...
I thought he weighed 110 pounds. How can he drop? Yeah. Where did he drop the weight?
So he dropped 30 pounds, and with his frame, I think that gave cause for concern to some NBA teams, too. So
that's a lot of weight to drop.
Especially when he already...
thin, what I mean? I think him going to Denver, though, is to, almost perfect for him. He's not rushed.
Right. I like that. Yeah. In Denver, they so stacked, so they don't have to rush.
Joker.
Right. And I remember his father. I remember watching his father as a little kid. I'd never forget watching Manute Bol, and I'm like, every time he ran to somebody, like hit him or bumped into him, I cringed because I thought he was gonna break in half or like.
And everybody knew Manute Bol. I think just because he was 7'7", it was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so go ahead.
Noah Syndergaard was put on the 10-day IL. Make sure I don't say DL because let's keep it right. After a hamstring strain. Although he says it's mild, can this be lingering all season?
I mean, it can. We've talked about hamstrings and players before. It can if you don't treat it right. This one's reported as a grade 1 on a scale of 1 to 3, so very mild. Obviously, as a pitcher, he's not out there every day like a position player or fielder. So you can treat a pitcher a little bit differently. He'll probably miss, my guess is 2, maybe 3 starts at most. But then I think he'll be fine. And as long as he's getting his treatment and conditioning in with his downtime, I don't think it'll be a problem going forward.
That's good. Did anybody know how he injured it? Because I know I see a lot of pitchers injuring their hamstring on running to first base, or running to second base, or third base. Is that because they don't stretch as much, maybe, or their body isn't used to running like that?
I think part of it is they don't run as much. To be honest, it's more than anything. I mean, if you've ever seen Syndergaard, he's kind of a physical specimen. Mm-hmm. He's a big dude. He works out. He conditions. So he's in better shape than a lot of the position players in his case, but they're just not used to doing that short bursts kind of sprinting like you said. So
yeah, you're seeing that more days.
Yeah, because Stroke was out almost a month and a half.
He wasn't even running that hard.
Quick side, back when we had Bartolo Colon on the Mets, and then he went to the Braves, he just jogging to first base would hurt himself, so they literally put a restriction that Colon wasn't allowed to run ever when he was at school.
Just hit it and just don't even worry about it. Just go back to the dugout.
Even if you get a single or double, just
go to the dugout.
You're good, dog. Just don't even worry about it. Look, they be asking when he get up to bat. You know how they do an intentional walk? They be like, yo, can we do an intentional strikeout?
Yeah, just go ahead.
Just can we?
And it's almost when I see pitchers now, because of it, I'll be like, yo, don't run too hard. Yo, like, don't try to beat a ground ball out. You know what I mean?
Wasn't that last year? Who was that for the Cubs? Remember he tried to beat a ground ball out?
And hurt himself.
Who was that?
It was Stroke.
Yeah.
It was almost playoff time. It was like a month.
No, what are you doing? It wasn't even close
either. He did it again this year.
Like, bruh. Like, dude, you're not Zambrano trying to be Zambrano.
Chill out, dude.
Like Carlos Zambrano? Yeah. Like,
Zambrano was a hitter, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Arrieta hits. Like, some of them hit. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you. We know what American League and National League and all that. As a doctor, do you think, and because you're a sports fan, I'm saying, do you think that now pitchers should hit like all, or should it just be like it is now with the tradition? National League pitchers hit, American League designated hitters.
Yeah, I guess they're claiming somewhere 5 to 10 years they might end up having a DH in the NL too. But a lot of the NL pitchers that I know take it as a point of pride that they can still get up there and hit and do things from behind the plate to help their team win. So I actually think a lot of the NL guys who are in it, embrace it and want to keep it the way it is.
Right. Well, I mean, and I guess because with guys like Max Scherzer,
he might be the toughest pitcher in the league. But
I'm saying, for you to break your own nose in practice and batting practice. I don't even think it was doing batting practice before a game. It was like,
did you see his eye?
He was bunting.
He was doing bunting drills.
It was like bunting drills.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the day off, and
you see his eye?
He had to pitch the next day.
He said, "I'm not taking off." And he came out and had a dominant performance as usual. All this is black. It was crazy, and he was out there tough. He had a strikeout like he always do. Speaking of that, y'all saw the Louisville pitcher strike out the dude and start cursing and
chirping. and then they lost.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We appreciate you coming on once again, Dr. Donnie Fowler III, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. And like I said, his family. So keep it locked. We will be back to talk more sports.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Renee Montgomery of the Atlanta Dream, and you're dreaming with a three-point conversion. Let's get it.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. And we're going to have Dr. Fowler. You're going to stay with us, right?
I'll stick around. Yeah.
Stick around? Okay, good. So, it is time to talk MLB baseball. First, All-Star is coming. I just want to ask you all. You know, you have NBA All-Star. You have the Pro Bowl, NHL. Stop it. Is MLB still relevant? Do you think MLB All-Star Game is it the best right now?
Yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, in the NBA, I think like towards the middle of the fourth quarter, it becomes more competitive because then they start playing defense. So it's fun, right? And of course, I mean, they're still working on they got a weekend, so it's kind of, cool. But with baseball, like the game is like intense from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to win. They're trying to, do what they need to do to win. It just so happens they playing against the top pitchers, the top starters in the league. So the first couple of innings, it'd be like a pitching duel for a minute. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's still big. I think basketball is getting closer to maybe being level playing field. I was going to say, in addition to that, I think the game being a little more intense. I still think that baseball, so home run derby is still the best accessory to the actual game. I think dunk contests, three-point contests are fun, but more people probably tune into home run derby as far as any kind of the skill stuff than any of the other All-Star stuff.
I definitely agree with that.
And I think with the MLB All-Star Game, it's still probably the only game where it's played like a regular season game. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody's playing. They're having fun, but in the midst of having fun, you still have to hit the ball and strike out somebody, So, no, I definitely agree.
That home run derby, like you said, that's like everybody's watching that. Like, and because it's not, I guess it's not as, with the dunk contest, you got to do this or do that. It's like, it's exciting. You looking at every pitch. They're hitting bombs, and so it's definitely exciting. I never miss a home run derby.
All right, so we're gonna go through the standings very quickly, and in the American League, we spoke about them briefly when we started the show. The New York Yankees lead the American League East 48 They're 48-27. They're 4.5 games up on the Tampa/Montreal Rays. And
the Tampa Bay Expos.
Tampa Bay Expos, right. Which they're at 44-32, then the Red Sox are 42-35. Quickly, Yankees, we spoke briefly about them. It's incredible what they're doing with all of those sluggers when they were out. Now they're coming back.
They were about to put up some numbers.
And
everybody else was hitting. Look, Sanchez was out there doing his thing. They
Right.
were out there doing what they supposed to do. Now you got Judge coming back and Stanton, man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. AL Central, the Twins are 49-26. They have a 9-game lead over Cleveland Indians. Dr. Fowler, you're shaking your head. Why are you shaking your head?
I don't know if anyone really saw the Twins doing what they're doing this season, or at least would have thought maybe they would have fallen back a little bit by now. But they keep winning. They have the biggest run differential I'm looking at now in the AL of any team. So I guess we should get used to this, that it's going to keep going. But
we'll
just like you're waiting to see something happen, but
it kind of seemed like it was just like their turn. Because it's only one AL Central team at a time.
I think it was the Sox, they won. Then it was Cleveland, Kansas City, and Cleveland for a few years. Detroit had their time when they were dominant, and now it's going to be Minnesota for a couple of years.
So they got the memo. All right, this is your year. So everyone else,
fall back.
Take the year off.
And it really be a big drop off from 1 to 2 and 3. It's not usually like, okay, the second team is going for the wild card.
Right.
It's usually like a 12-game lead.
Right. All right. And the AL West, we have the Houston Astros up 7.5 games with a 48-29 record over the Texas Rangers, who are 40-36. Houston, they're doing what they're doing. Do they remind you? They remind me of. I'm trying to think of that team. Who was that team where they was always good, like in the NFL? It was always good. You always knew they were going to be up there. They just couldn't. Mm-hmm. Even though Houston won, but still,
they got a laundry list of people on the IL too.
And they still
still winning, still putting it up. And Texas. Speaking of Texas, what's that dude's name? Matzur.
Mm-hmm.
He hit a bomb yesterday.
Oh, 505. Yes.
Tied the StatCast record, longest home run since I think 2017 or 2015 or something like that. Like, it was a bomb.
Yeah, it was a bomb. Shout out to him. All right, we're going to skip the NL East because I want to get back to them. But the NL Central, we have the Cubs, who are up 1.5 games over the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Cubs are 41-34, and the Brewers are 40-36.
St. Louis right there.
St. Louis is 2 games behind the Cubs. I still say this is the best division in baseball.
I mean, top to bottom, Pittsburgh's nothing but 5 games out.
So let me ask you: does Kimbrel make a big difference though when he comes back?
I think he does. The Cubs got 11 blown saves.
Right.
Already. So imagine if they signed him in the beginning of the season. They would have gave up a pick though, which was I think probably the issue. You're looking at what, a 7-game lead, 6-game lead, somewhere in there.
Right. Yeah. All right. And then the National League West, you have the Dodgers up 11 games over the Colorado Rockies. Dodgers are 52-25. Are they the best team in baseball? You feel they're the best team in baseball?
I think they're the best team in the National League. I don't. With what we said before, the Yankees and the Astros have done so well with having so many key players injured. When they both have their full arsenals, I think those 3 teams are all kind of in the mix, in my opinion.
That's a good point. That's definitely a good point. I mean, the Dodgers have pretty much their whole team. Kershaw just came back, I think, a couple starts ago. But I don't see him he's not that Kershaw that he was. Not saying that he can't get back there, because some pitchers do get back. Because, I mean, I think Verlander went through a year or 2 where he was kind of, going through it. And then look at him now. He's back dominant. He's back being that Verlander.
Right.
So can Kershaw come back? Maybe he can. But as of right now, he's not that Kershaw that we were used to seeing. But as he said, the Yankees getting their sluggers back.
Right.
They're going to put up more runs, and their pitching has been pretty stable. Tampa Bay, I mean, what we usually expect them to kind of fall off, but, I mean, like you said, those two teams in Houston, we know what they're going to do.
And then in the NL East, the Atlanta Braves are atop of division by a half game over the Philadelphia Phillies. Braves are 44-32. They just lost last night, and the Phillies are 39-36, and Washington is 6.5 games back, 37-38. So the Braves, they caught fire. They've won their last 7 out of 10 games. Keuchel pitched last night. They were up 3-0. He blew the lead. First game back in a while. It's okay. But do you think they have enough to win division, or will they get bitten by their bullpen issues?
I think they got enough to win the division. They did great last year. Run differential was the best in that league, in that league or whatever in the NL East, plus 44 as opposed to everybody else is in the negative other than Washington. But they can't get comfortable. Washington is 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 5 in a row. So they easily could be 2 games out had the Braves lost a couple games in those 10. I do think that they can. That offense is very potent. The starting pitching is looking ridiculous. I hope that they can keep that up because it's a young rotation, right? So if they can keep that up, I think they'll hold on to it. And again, but again, we're still early. We're not even at the All-Star break, and that's when things start to get
right. And then Philly, we're waiting for Philly to jump back, and we saw last year where Philly took a step back in the second half of the season. But now with the players that they have, this is another year of experience. Bringing Harper, expect him to come.
And I expect Harper to have a big second half.
Right.
He's having kind of a disappointing first half for him, right? And even last year, he had a bad first half. He came on that second half and was on a complete tear. So I expect them to. So
should he go ahead and participate in the home run derby so he can get hot?
That's what they did last year. You know, they superstitious,
right?
Very superstitious. So if he want to catch fire, because he caught fire. So.
Because people got mad that he was in the home run. Why? You're not doing anything. And then all of a sudden.
Tore it up. So, I mean, I definitely think he should. It's going to be an interesting division. This one in the NL Central, those 2 divisions are going to be real good divisions.
That kid, Austin Riley. All right, we're going to take a quick. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones, a Sucker Free Life LLC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-point conversion, where no team or no player is off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
It's time to get in the mind of Mr. Controversy and the Intellectual with What's on My Mind.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. And What's on My Mind segment is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to be, because everyone can be sucker free. Make sure you purchase your apparel today on Facebook.com/Sucker Free Life LLC. SUCKA. All right, what's on my mind? This is the time where we get to talk and spill out our guts, talk about what's on our mind, whether it's serious, crazy, something we don't like, something we don't understand, something we're excited about. Just how we do it. And we don't vent, but we just get stuff off our chest. And this is what's on my mind. You know, like I stated, usually we talk about this. We talk about serious issues. You know, we definitely want to continue that because you have a lot of things going on in sports. It's horrible, whether it's race, whether it's sexism or whatever, and it's bad. You know, got the WNBA, you got all of this going on. But I want to talk to you all about, this is for the men. So we're in the summer right now. NBA is over with. We have Major League Baseball. So we got 199 games left in Major League Baseball. No football. So, man, if you are smart, I've said this before, this is the time where you tell your wife or your significant other, you know what, baby? Just for you, because I love you, I'm going to just take 2 months off of sports and dedicate this time for you. That way, you look like a G. You look great. They're looking at, oh my God, they bragging to their girlfriends about you and what you saying, and you just take it. You're not missing nothing. Every now and then you might get to watch the Big Three when she falls asleep, whatever. But think about it. You going on trips, weekends, you go out. Just say 2 to 3 months. So then by the time football start, it'll be around preseason. She can't say anything. She's going to give you that. You took out 3 months out the year. Say, I'm forgetting sports. Fortunately, I can't do it because I cover everything. So, but I'm telling you, this is the gift to you from a 3-point conversion. You need to do this. It will work. It makes you look good. And then if they don't believe you, turn on the Big Three one day. Look, see? TV on, sports. I'll turn it to ESPN Classics. They won't know the difference. But either or, I'm telling you, I'm just giving y'all advice, man. This will work out. And that's what's on my mind. And that's from the heart.
Yeah, you could try it, and then the women still going to be on Sunday looking at you like, we're not finna sit here and watch football from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m.
You really thought you was giving away game.
Right. And they already hate because it come on Thursday, too. They be like, hold on, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday?
Right.
So you just go sit here and just watch football from Thursday to Monday.
But see, that's why you say, I'm giving you 3 months.
3 whole months.
3 whole months.
You got to watch the Big Three, though.
You can watch it. I mean, you'll be able to watch. They'll fall asleep on a certain night. They can't stay up every weekend, every night of the weekend. They're going to be tired because y'all been going out. But go ahead, man.
What's on my mind? So Thursday was a draft party at the Atlanta Hawks at the State Farm Arena. And they set it up nice, too. I mean, they had free popcorn, salad, drinks, wings, little pulled pork burgers, pretzels. They had nice stuff. So it was real cool being there. But what I really liked was just the overall draft. To see these young men that worked so hard. You got to think, well, not all of them, because some kids started in like junior year or senior year. I think the Pelicans picked Jackson Hayes. He started like junior year. But even for him, he started junior year playing ball. And he played 1 year at in college, 1 or 2 years. I think it was 1, though. And now he's a lottery pick, to go from these kids that started when they were 2, Zion, R.J. Barrett, these kids that started playing 2 years old, 3 years old. Definitely Ja Morant, because he was on nobody's radar 2 years ago. Even as of last year, he was on no one's radar. He comes in and has this great season, and now he's the number 2 pick. Is going to be the face of the franchise in Memphis. I think that it's just so great that they have that opportunity, and the way that the NBA it allows them to grow and be the people they are. It's not like the NFL where no fun allowed. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that. The NBA allows you to be the person you are and give you different opportunities to work with the community and do a lot of things. So I mean, that's basically what's on my mind. Just proud of these young fellas to be able to live their dream out and take care of their family, and not just not to get into that NCAA thing, but not other people making a bunch of money off of them. Now they're able to capitalize on their value. And one of the picks, Baisley, I think his name is Darius Baisley, he actually didn't even go to a college. He worked out all year, and he was still drafted in the first round. So I think that's definitely good. And just shout out to all the young brothers for making their dreams come true.
Yeah, man, it's still inspiring to watch draft day, whether it's NFL, NBA, MLB. You got when the team get 25 picks, I can't watch that.
It'd be funny every year. I'm like, man, if I had grew like 4 more inches, I would have been up there talking to my mother and my grandmother. Like,
right,
yeah, I'm
right. But this is good to see that though. Like, to see them and the motion and hard work pays off, which it does. So, but if you hear this music, you already know what it means. It means it is time to let you go. But before we let you go, we have a couple of shout-outs, and you could be one of them, so stay tuned. First of all, I want to give a shout-out to the Almighty God for, man, I was about to say for the head of my life. I was about to give a testimony for being, forgot where I was at, but just for being there with me, for protecting us. Just give me this opportunity to do what I do, say what I say, give me this platform to make people upset, happy, mad, want to give me the stop it button. Even for blessing me to have Jerry Jones tell me thank you on the radio.
Thank you, Raphael.
And I appreciate all of that. Also want to thank my guest, Chris Kirshner from the Athletic Atlanta. Also, we thank our family, Dr. Donnie Fowler III. We appreciate you for coming on. Then want to thank our sponsors, Cindy Cuts Barbershop, Ortho Atlanta, and Sucker Free Life LLC. And then I got to thank my partners in crime, G, doing a wonderful job, and my man D Intellectual.
Yes, you know it. Just want to thank everybody again, our friends, family, everybody that listens every week. Not only listen to us on the radio, but go to our Facebook page, our Instagram page. Check out the website. As you can see, our news comes just as quick and most times quicker than any other sports resource. So definitely continue to listen to us and check us out. Thanks, friends and family. That's pretty much it, man. Everybody have a great Saturday. It's supposed to be a little rainy down here, but you never can know in Atlanta. It'll say it's going to rain, and then it don't rain at all.
Right. Yeah, so it'll be hot. But anyway, I want to...
Steaming.
I want to thank my beautiful wife and my children, all my grandparents, uncles, parents, cousins, nephews, nieces, brothers and sisters, and play cousins. Also, I want to thank everyone who listened to the show today. We appreciate you all. Make sure you love people. Let people know that you love them while they're alive. Love on them. Also, eat good, drink well, be safe, watch sports. What else I'm missing? Just, BIG3 is on. Watch the BIG3. Follow the 3-point conversion. We will have exclusive coverage in Detroit. Shout out to Miss Sheena Quick, as she will be representing the 3-point conversion. And until then, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace. You just got done listening to the 3-point conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-point conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.